Pronto, come stai? Uh, a problem I have is I when I am trying to contact somebody, uh, I guess it's a problem. I try to contact them too many times. Now, when I was getting to know my wife, I called her once a night. We talked on TTY like an hour a night, okay? And when I got to know my deaf friend, before I got to know my wife, same thing. Now, with the deaf friend, I had to walk to the subway, get into the subway, and then put money in the pay telephone and have the TTY come out, and then call her up on TTY. It was quite involved, but I spent like an hour a night. Now, I never like called back. I left the subway, came back, called again though. Also, my wife had talked to her one hour a night, and I didn't. After the hour was up, I didn't feel any need to call back. But I'm not getting any answers from you, and I'm not looking for them. Okay, so in other words, the only answer I need to get is for you to show up here, or to send me a legitimate communication. Now, I've been thinking, the last thing I put on here, I was talking about alternate realities, and I was thinking to myself, if we are in alternate realities, and I've sent letters to your place of work or former place of work, those letters may not have gotten to you because you are in another reality. Now, just think about that, okay? Just think about it. So I sent some letters, and they never got where they were supposed to get, because they got where they were supposed to get, but to the wrong reality. So they never got to you. Now, I sent you a Valentine's gift. You know what it was? It was some of these cigars, okay, which I carry with me in memory of my Italian grandfather, who was probably my father. I say probably, but I'm like 99.99999% sure that he was my real biological father. Anyway, I carry these in memory of him. Now, these are a couple years old, and so I think the box I sent you, I'm not sure if I had opened it and then resealed it with glue, so that it might have been a partially smoked cigar in there. Now, I figured you would like a gift like this. You know why? Because a long time ago, I made a video of me puffing on one of these, saying, here's to our first child, right? And then I took that off. And then I saw a video somewhere. I think it was on Facebook at the time. I don't remember. And the video was one of those dogs, those real mean dogs. Forget what they're, pit bulls. A pit bull with like a stick in its mouth, running off, and the master was saying, "Come back here with that." Okay. So I figured that was a message from you saying, put that cigar video back on. So these, as I've explained, these look kind of like a twig from a tree. That's what they look like. I'm not going to open this because this is a couple years old. I don't smoke these. Those puffs I took, the few puffs I've taken on these, I filmed those moments. Those are the only puffs I've taken, pretty much. Maybe some. I don't think so. Anyway, the right answer is I don't smoke at all. But in memory of my grandfather, I carry these with me. So I figured you would like that gift. Now, I also included two child pacifiers in there. A package of two child pacifiers. A pacifier is like a little fake, a little nipple that a child can suck. And I bought from Walmart in the children's section. I don't know if I have it here. I don't have it with me, but I bought a. It's called a pacifier holder, and it's like a. I don't have it. It's upstairs. It has a clip on it, like on suspenders, and you can clip the thing to your clothes, and then attach it to a pacifier. Well, I bought that, and I attached my compass to it, and I wear that everywhere because I find a compass very valuable. Because my wife doesn't want me to use our phone's GPS at all because she figures we're being harassed and hacked and people are following us around. So don't ever use the map function on the phones, never. So because I'm just finding my way around without any help from map apps, I find it helpful to have my compass with me. Because if it's a cloudy day, you don't know where the sun is. So you don't know where west, east is, maybe, depending on where you are. If you know where you are, of course, you know where east, west, north are. But if you're driving somewhere where you don't know, it's nice to have that compass. It'll tell you going north, west, or whatever. So it's also good in a city like Tokyo, right, where I don't know anything about the city. So if I want to go north, I take out my compass and take a look, right? And it's good inside buildings too. You're inside a huge mall, and where are you? Where which direction you're supposed to go? Take out your compass, and you'll know. Well, I included 2 child's pacifiers in a box of cigars. It might have been opened before. I don't know because these are a couple of years old. I sent you one. Now this is a precious thing to me. I carry it with it all. Carry this with me all the time, for years now, and there's a poem by the poet Yeats, William Yeats, I think his name is. Usually I know these things, but I get in front of a camera like this and I start forgetting everything. Well, William Butler Yeats, yeah, the famous Irish poet, he has this poem about love, okay, and he says, if you really want to show someone you love them, like a woman, he's talking about love between a man and a woman. How do you win the woman? He says, if you're like a jester, right, you throw up to the woman. Let's say she's on a balcony. It's like a Romeo and Juliet thing. You throw up what? You throw up cap and bells. You throw up your identity, some symbol of your identity to show that this is you. You are really in love with this person. You throw up cap and bells. That's this beautiful poem by Yeats. So as far as I'm concerned, when I sent you those cigars and those pacifiers, I was trying, I don't know if I succeeded, to throw up cap and bells to you. I was. Well, I never got an answer. So maybe you never got those things because you're in another reality. You never got them at all. Who knows? At any rate, as I was saying, when I was talking with my wife every night or talking with my deaf friend every night, before I got to my wife, I called them once, right? I didn't call and then call them back like at 1 a.m. or anything. I was satisfied, right? Did you ever read The Naked and the Dead by Norman Mailer? In there, there's a character who says, I got to have it 7 times before I'm satisfied. So, somebody like that got to do something 7 times. Well, in that case, he might, send 7 messages before he's satisfied that he sent enough messages to someone he wants to talk to, right? Now, you know, if I reach like a point of satisfaction in sending you a message, of course, yeah, I'm done. Yeah, I feel good. Yeah, it's over. But I'm living in this no man's land where I don't know from moment to moment. I'm not getting anything back. And you got to know this. I'm not looking for you anymore. I'm not looking anywhere online. I don't look at that place I used to call the website. I haven't looked at that in months. I don't look at it now. I'm not looking you up because I figure it's 3 years. You got to show up here or give me some kind of legitimate message that's trustworthy, where I know it's you. And you got to say something. If you ever got those letters I sent asking to become your assistant at work, well, you could say now, a couple of years, 3 years later, you could say, hey, I just found this letter from you, and, I want to let you know that I don't think I could use an assistant, but are you really interested in meteorology? Something like that, whatever. It's an excuse. Okay? So, I'm not getting anything like that. So it could be you've done that and the letters aren't getting to me because I'm in an alternate reality, or, there's some bad guys interfering, keeping those letters from me. I've sent multiple letters to this DNA place. It's called DNA Worldwide. I've sent them a couple of letters. No response at all. And my experience is these places that make money, they will answer you and keep answering long past you want to have anything to do with them. So I feel like, well, if it's not an alternate reality thing that's keeping my letters from them or their responses from me, it's foul play of some kind. But nothing I can do about that, right? So, I might send more messages tonight. I figure the only thing I can do now is send messages. I keep telling myself, if that was you who showed up in front of my house that one time, got out of your car and looked at your phone and all, if that was you, and not some murderer there trying to set me up, if that was you, I figure you'll come back. Unless, you've had a change of heart. You said, this is what I've been saying to myself. You've been saying to yourself, maybe, this guy said he was Tarzan? Oh, God. I didn't know that. He's Tarzan. Oh, God. Glad I dodged that bullet. That's probably not funny, right? If this is true, that's not funny. But that could have happened. Anything like that could happen at any time. You say, no, Tarzan? Oh, God, what was I thinking? I thought this guy was, who's some of the famous womanizers? Did you know that Benjamin Franklin was a womanizer? You know who Benjamin Franklin was, right? I figure you're an American citizen. Because you know American Sign Language. And you know it so well, you have to be the daughter of deaf parents. There's 99.9999999% sure that you are. Because nobody could do what you do with signs. Nobody. Even children of deaf parents can't do what you've been doing. Okay? That's how hard it is to do what you've been doing. Okay? You're there talking on a scientific level under incredible pressures in front of an audience of potentially millions, and you're able to sign a completely different message in American Sign Language and have it make sense. You're carrying on two different conversations at the same time in two different languages at the same time. This is why I say you are a genius level of intelligence. Well, there's a lot of other indications that you are, not just that. Your reports, the way you have a familiarity with the geography of the entire globe and the weather all over the globe. This is amazing what you're able to do. So, as I say, your genius level of intelligence, whether you got papers to show that or not, it's clear to me you are. Now, you see, if we were talking on TTY or on the telephone, I would be getting responses, right? And I would feel, okay, I'm glad I had that conversation, but this is a one-way conversation. And like I say, I'm not looking for you anymore because I figure you gotta come here, or you gotta get me a message that I can trust. You gotta do that because I can't do more. I just can't. Psychologically, I can't, and financially, I can't, and a lot of reasons I can't. In terms of trust, I've extended my trust for 3 years, and I still trust you, right? But I figure if you can't get in touch with me by now, being who you are, somebody as successful as you, I figure there's something keeping you from doing that is way too powerful for you to beat. Then I don't have a chance. I have a chance beating whatever it is stopping you. So, like I say, I'm waiting until, if this keeps going and time keeps passing by, eventually I'll do what people do. They just move on. I wrote with all my might for about 40 years, as if my life depended on it. And then I came to the end of that and I stopped writing. I don't even remember what the last story was I wrote. I don't. I just came to the end of writing and I said, I didn't say anything. I just stopped writing and that was the end of it. But for 40 years, 24 hours a day, that was on my mind, and I was working 24 hours a day at the things I was writing. Thinking and working, getting up at 4 a.m. before work to write, coming home, thinking, writing, reading. I did that for 40 years, and then it came to an end. Well, with you, I've devoted all of my energy to trying to get to you. Okay, it meant that much to me. And, I got to be reasonable, right? After 3 years, I'm getting nothing back. And this is it's becoming extremely dangerous for me. I can't explain more. So, for my sake, the sake of my family, and maybe even for your sake, because you might be not even wanting to have anything to do with me for all I know. So maybe for your sake too, this thing will come to an end. But I don't know what's going to happen here. Each day when I go out, I got a bag packed in the back of our car, and I take all the things with me that I might take if I were to leave the country, clothes on my back. I bring my documents. I bring my shaving kit. I bring my prayer book. I bring all my phones. I got 5 phones because of the hackers and the harassers bothering me and my wife. I use 5 phones to make my videos. I shift from one to another and so on. I run out of space. I got space on another and this kind of thing. So I bring those things with me. I'm like somebody going on a trip. Every time I go out to the car, I take all this stuff with me and load it in, and I figure I'm ready to leave the United States clothes on my back 24 hours a day. Now, if it was you who drove by during those early days when I was trying to contact you and I was out in front of our house between 3 and 4 a.m. looking for you, you might have seen my guitar and my suitcase, one of those big suitcases that can weigh up to 50 pounds, on the tailgate of my truck as I sat across the street in our other car waiting for you to come. Because I was ready. Put the guitar in the trunk of your car, put the suitcase in there and leave. Okay? I've been ready it's been a couple of years now. And for months I was out there every night looking for you. 3 to 4 a.m. I'm not mad at you. It sounds like I am. I'm just expressing my frustration, and all. Not with you. I don't even know you're able to hear these videos. Why? Every time I look at these videos on my phone, what does it say? 0 views. It's telling me ain't nobody looking at these videos. I don't look at them myself because I figure it'll have 1 view that way and let it have no views. So I got all these videos I'm making, all of them say 0 views. Yet I believe that you may be seeing these, and I'm keeping this up in the face of this kind of opposition. This much trust in the Lord, so to speak, that these are lies on my phone. 0 views, it's a lie. I don't believe it. So I go on anyway, but I gotta say, after 3 years, even I reach a point where, like the fairy godmother in Cinderella, she tells Cinderella, look, even miracles have a time limit. So at midnight, the time is up on this one. Well, 3 years is the number of years my parents went together before they got married. And it's now been 3 years I've been going with you, and I haven't even met you. Nor have I got a single legitimate response that I could show to anybody and say, yes, she answered me no. I have nothing like that, and I'm already considered to be crazy. So this is a dangerous game for me. You have no idea. You're not in this kind of reality. You have no idea what I'm talking about. So I'm not going to be able to convince you that what I'm saying is true. This is a dangerous game for somebody like me to be playing. So, after 3 years, I got to say I'm withdrawing, from things I was doing. Nevertheless, I'm still, every day when I go out to the car, prepared to leave. I'm ready to leave. I'm very serious. I want to leave the United States. I want to get my family out of here too. I figure the folks here are headed for a catastrophe because they've done evil. Not just to me, but to others. Well, that's all from me for now.